Okay, so I thought I'd go through how to use this applet because it's not very user-friendly. Stick a video up there, it'll be easier. So this is the default screen you see, and you can play around with it and get pretty colors and stuff. And blue is compression, red is tension. It looks really cool through 3D glasses. Let's go through some commands, I guess. P pauses it, and then you can kind of tweak the mesh while it's paused, and then unpause it with P again, and see the reaction. Of course, you can do more interesting stuff than that with pause. And then you can clear the mesh with clear. Let's try a few of the meshers. OM, and then number of elements per side on the screen. Let's make it 40, so it'll be a 40 by 40 grid. OM space 40. Oh, got it wrong. OM space 40, and then the number of connections per node. We'll make that 8. And there it is. And tweak that mesh. So, and then you can scale the mesh. So scale 0.5. That'll shrink it to half its original size. Okay, so there it is. Then I'm going to pan over here and stick it to the top. And I'm going to make another mesh. This time we'll do OM2, which is a different grid style. OM2, 25 elements per side of the screen, and we'll do 10 connections per element. Okay, so now they're bonded, essentially. We'll scale it by 0.5 again, shrink it down so we can see both. So now they're coupled, and you can go ahead and put some waves through the system and see how they move through the different mediums at different velocities, because effectively the density is different because one has greater spacing than the other. Let's see. And I guess visualization is another thing that's fun to play around with. Let's see, Command F, toggles forcing on and off so you can see the forces. The net force vector on any given particle, which essentially is proportional to acceleration at that moment, because F equals ma. And then you can turn off the connections too, which are the red and blue lines essentially, with C. So now the connections are off. Speeds up the draw a little bit. Yeah, and different visualizations work better with different mesh densities and configurations. So let's see. And then let's go through a couple of these demos. So just clicking on this demo button. So yeah. So there's just forces are still on. Let's turn the connections back on. Okay, so this is OM2. This mesh was made with OM2. Demo 2. OM1. A little finer, I guess. Demo 3. Demo 3, this is like the sort of more random mesher. So you can get a sort of more organic looking mesh. And the way you create that, let's go ahead and pause this. Let's shuffle it over here. And then let's create another mesh of that style. So I think it's RM, which is random mesh. And then the number of nodes overall, so we'll do 2000. And then the spacing, I think, so we'll do 12 pixels. No, let's do 20. No, 12. And the connections per element, we'll do 8. See if that works. Looks like it's working because it's not doing anything, so we'll see. Yeah, it's working. There we go. Okay, so yeah. So here you can see the two meshes are sort of joined and it's paused with P, so then I can unpause it and this force will flow over into the other mesh with another P. Let's see. It goes a little bit incompatible. I think maybe the mass is a little too low, that instability. So I'll do M10, 10 kilograms per node, and that calmed it down. So you can see it's kind of slowed down now to about 15 frames per second. So yeah, obviously the more elements you have, the slower it's going to run. And then you can see these big force vectors. Those are all coming off constraints that are put on the mesh. So I'm going to clear those by typing in free. Okay, now the mesh is free. And now I'm going to zoom in by scaling it by 10. So now I'm really close in. And I'm going to constrain some of these nodes. So I'm going to right click on a node. Actually, I can't get it. I think it's just... Okay, I'm going to pause it. Okay. Click on a node to select it. Okay, so now it's selected. And then I'm going to right click on that same node and see that little white bar that yeah, you can't really see it. Anyway, a little white bar shows up, then I click off the node and I click on it again with the right mouse button. Now it's fully constrained. So it's kind of ghetto, but that's just how it works. And then I'm going to scale it up again by 10. Wait, 0.1. Yeah, so now there's a constraint in there. Can't really see it though. So we'll unpause it. Okay, where's that constraint we put in there? There it is, right up there. So, yeah. That's generally how I use it. Turn off connections with C. Turn on the elements with E. And turn off the forces with F. Turn off the grid with G, I think. Nope. That turned on gravity. Okay, so you can turn on and off gravity with G. And then grid turns on and off the grid. Yeah. So it takes a while to set up constraints and stuff, but if you wanted to, you could model, I don't know, big spring mass system like a bridge or something. I've done it before. I'll go through that in the next video.